to another episode of Morning Edition. Julian Sador, Andy Satowski, Jason Harper, Ted Phaeton, all here. Guys, where's your outfits? You guys didn't...
It's a cleaner.
I was gonna say after I left it in the car.
Yeah, after we all attended, obviously, the Met Gala, the gala, however you want to say it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What in the world?
That's Heidi Klum.
That's Heidi Klum.
That's Heidi Klum.
One of the most beautiful people on planet Earth.
Yes.
What is she?
Wow.
So the
Like a
thing
Greek
was
statue or
fashion is art, right? So I think the thing about the Met Gala is I think it just leaves it so open to interpretation, which is good and bad.
Yeah.
I think
That
a lot
left
of
eyeballs open for interpretation.
she kind of looks like the Mona Lisa. How is she doing that for real? I didn't notice.
I don't know if that's a floating contact
Oh,
or
no, maybe.
what?
Right?
But a lot of them tried to embrace, take on like statues and art forms and but that's why it's broad. I think you saw lots of color. Like I love this one.
Wow.
Our producer Austin told us who this is. I have no idea who it is, but it reminds me of the Weeping Willow.
Yeah.
So the dress code was fashion is art, and the vibe said think surrealism, sculptural silhouettes, and literal interpretations of masterpieces, Van Gogh, etc. So some people took it more literal than others, and apparently the red carpet was actually a nod to Van Gogh, featuring ivory swirls of green and blue.
I saw that, and there were lots of flowers hanging.
Is that creepy?
Who is that?
That's really creepy.
Next slide. I'm
Go to the next one. Go to the next one.
Speaking of creepy.
Man.
And this one, I'm
Oh,
not
wow.
really sure.
This one requires assistance.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the
Is that a ship on her head?
I
It
think
is.
it
Looks
is.
like
I think she's like Ursula.
Ooh.
Oh.
I mean, that's just mean.
This was what I think was the best.
This looks really cool.
Look at her tears.
Lots of structure in that hooded part. And then the
I think that's amazing.
Now that looks like art. It really does.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It's really cool. I don't know. I think I'm not really big into Hollywood and celebrities and all this. And that's Bad Bunny, by the way. He was
Bad
Bunny. He was
Bunny.
aging shit. Oh, man.
Man. I mean, clearly the women are able to, I feel like over the years, they've expressed themselves more than men. But some of the men, they've shown up pretty strong over the last couple of years. I'll give them that.
Like these guys came together.
He was voted best halter by Yahoo.
Best halter.
Best halter.
Oh.
I forget what his name is. But The Rock got best skirt.
Oh.
Really?
And it was really cool. It was very understated, like
Sam
all
Smith?
black.
Yep.
But he always
Slays.
plays out. I love it. He slays it.
100%.
Sparkles. But The Rock, it was kind of like longer in the back, so it almost looks like really long coattails. But apparently it was a skirt. It looked really neat. But Ted, you brought up a point with the guy that does your suits about like what is in now, and you actually saw that in the
what is
Met Gala.
in?
So the lapel pins, shout out to my man Ned. I was getting a lapel pin for an event, and I was gonna go with the traditional like flower. And he's like, no. Get this one. It was like a metal flower with the crystals in it and whatnot. He's like, that's in, and he even said like the animals and like the big lapel pins are more in style. And The Rock had like a long one.
It was a big, and it had a lot of jewels on it.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot.
There's a
of
big lapel pin right there.
Have you seen
That's
like
cool.
Ryan
Those are cool.
Ryan Clark on ESPN? He's has his like custom ones. He'll have like custom lapel pins.
Yeah.
So I've seen that. I've seen the trend.
They're coming up.
The mixed metals and like mixed medium lapel pins. Yeah, those are popular. Like I would do one going to a really cool event like this.
Right.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do it every day coming into work.
Why not? I want to see it.
Yeah.
Can you do fancy? Can we have like fancy lapel?
I have a
And
feeling.
like
I have a
animals and
feeling
stuff.
our boss would probably be like, it's a little distracting. I feel like it's a clown flower.
What
It's
about
gonna
like
squirt
what
water?
what Bad Bunny has instead of a tie? Like
Yeah,
like
right.
Look at
Bad
him.
Bunny.
Anyway, it's super cool. I know it raises money for the Met. That's all well and good. It's a lot. It's over the top, but man, everyone has fun with it. Whether
What
you
would
like
you
it
guys
or you
do?
don't. What would
If you got an invitation, Annie, to go to the Met Gala and you had 30 days to get something together, and like the sky's the limit with something like this, what would you do?
First is calling Versace. Like I need
Is that your
someone.
okay?
I guess. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
literally any designer
agree.
who would take me and create that. I think they need more time than 30 days. But that's
Probably.
how it works, right?
Yeah, I
I feel like it.
I feel like I would go more like Bad Bunny's route and like do something.
yeah.
I would do something that could be funny because I can't take myself serious enough to pull off like some of the serious fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Right?
I'm with
You know
you.
what I mean? I could
Like,
do that.
there's no in my head. I think I'm James Bond, but I'm more like the light blue tuxedo from Dumb and Dumber.
Oh,
So there's the difference. There's this battle of, I think I look like James Bond, but I really know I look like Dumb and Dumber. And so I probably would lean towards a little more humorous. I would love some kind of technology on me. Like something like an extra, like a robot version of me out front, or something that did something outside of just what I'm wearing.
I like that.
So like you'd be like an AI art.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I think so.
Yeah,
I think, or like
futuristic.
Picasso. You know, Picasso, you got like a crazy eye and a nose up here.
Heidi Klum.
Yeah, kind of something like that.
I'd follow suit here.
You go this?
Cubism. Yeah.
I would go with like Michelangelo's David. You know what I mean?
No, must
Oh boy.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Out of time.
Way to go, Ted. Perfect time to wrap this up. We are out of time. We have a very interesting conversation coming up, you guys, with the #1 gold medalist when it comes to men's volleyball, and we're trying to bring volleyball to North Carolina. Great conversation coming up. So sit tight. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Morning Edition. Welcome back, everyone, into Queen City News Plus, our Morning Edition program with our hero cam. We got some new people in here that I need to introduce you to, and this is going to be super exciting. I cannot wait. You guys already know who this ugly guy is on the left. That's myself. But next to me, we got Coach Karch. Oh, my gosh, we just practiced this. This is your life, Coach. Coach Karch Kiraly.
I messed you up with some of the worst ones I've heard and got that stuck in your head.
It's okay. Coach, we're going to come back to that. We also are excited to have Jon Dunn, who's one of our premier producers here at Queen City News, but is also a volleyball stud, has sidelined himself with a recent injury, but is a legend in his own mind and a coach here with a club team in the Charlotte area. And then we're also excited to have Sarah Conklin, who is not only the Weddington High School boys volleyball coach here just outside of Charlotte, but is also with North Carolina Boys High School Volleyball Association. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is exciting. Jon, I want to start with you, okay, because you're the one that came to us going, first of all, no one, Coach, in our newsroom talks more about volleyball, especially boys and men's volleyball, than Jon. And this is something we're not used to hearing all the time. We're in the South. We talk about football, basketball, and baseball, the big three, right? And of course, soccer and other ones are growing. We don't hear about volleyball very often. Jon, what is this passion for volleyball?
Yeah, I've made it the overwhelming majority of my personality, for sure. I've been playing since I was 13 years old. I now coach in the Charlotte area, and it came across the group that Sarah has put together, a push to officially sanction boys volleyball in North Carolina, now coming from the great state of New York. It is an official high school sport there. And when I found out down here that we are almost at the finish line in North Carolina to get the sport treated as an official high school sport in the state, I told myself I have to do something. I couldn't do nothing. I had to do something to bring attention to this. And I reached out to Sarah. Sarah connected us with Coach Kiraly, and here we are, honored to be interviewing two legends, a North Carolina legend and a Team USA legend, to try to bring awareness to this push to get boys volleyball officially sanctioned in North Carolina.
Sarah, it's nice to have you. So we got two coaches on here, Jon, is what's going on.
Three.
Three. Oh, that's true. Yeah, because you are too. I am not, although I have 4 daughters. So I feel like I'm a coach, kind of in my own household. But Sarah, I want you to do the official who is Karch, right? Because I'm not going to do it justice. You understand the weight of who he is and what he brings to the sport of volleyball. So help people that are watching right now understand this list of accolades as maybe one of the greats.
Well, I don't think you have a podcast long enough to list all of the
I love
accolades. But in shorthand, he is the GOAT. He's the Michael Jordan of volleyball, whether it's beach, indoor. Not only is a legend on the court, but he is a champion for the game far beyond the gym. I mean, he's helped us grow the game on lots of levels, but specifically for boys volleyball, he keeps showing up. He's just been so supportive, and I can't help just gush about how great he's been to bring attention to the game and just support us in every way possible. So Thanks, Coach.
This is an honor. I mean, the only person to ever win Olympic gold medals in both indoor in '84 and '88, and then beach in '96. I'm from Atlanta. I know all about the '96 Olympics, so that's exciting. What is it for you, Coach? Why do you love? Where did this passion start? Did it start as a young kid? Were you just naturally gifted at volleyball?
My dad was born and raised in Hungary, and so of course the rest of the world plays a lot of what they would call football, world football, soccer. So I played a lot of soccer growing up, and of course my dad he was nuts about volleyball, as many other countries are, and so he got me started when I was just 6 years old, bopping the ball back and forth, and it just kept playing. Really, he infected me with this passion for the game that I couldn't get rid of even if I wanted to. And so after I stopped my playing days, I got into coaching. I started coaching boys high school volleyball because one of our boys had about the worst season you could possibly have, lost 31 matches in a row, each of them 3-0. And my wife said, you got to help them out and see if they could at least win one set. And so then I got into the coaching side and I've coached multiple Olympic Games. And so it's been an amazing path.
That's incredible. It really is. John, look, I got 4 daughters. My second oldest, and Sarah, I was telling you this earlier when you were on our show, that we, for years, went to club and even high school volleyball tournaments, traveled all around the Southeast. I loved it. It was amazing. John, can you describe the difference? Or if you want to ask these guys, boys volleyball, is it the same? Some people go, that's a girl sport. I have a feeling you three would beg to differ.
Yeah. So I'll start. I'll start with a personal story, and my mother will kill me that I'm telling this story here. But when I first went to my parents to let them know that I would be playing or would be trying to play boys volleyball to see if I like it, I needed another sport. I was just playing baseball at the time when I was about to go into high school. I told my parents that I would be trying boys volleyball, and my mother said to me that I should consider playing a sport for boys like golf. Which she now knows, both my parents now know. But there is absolutely that sentiment everywhere else in the country with people who have not experienced the game. So I would love, and Coach Kiraly, I don't think there's too many people in this country that are more uniquely qualified to answer this question than you. Could you talk to us a little bit about the differences between the boys/men's game and the girls/women's game?
Well, first of all, I would say that both games are great. The men, unlike basketball, the men play on a different height net. And we've got lots of guys in our program who are touching well over 12 feet. The record right now is 12 feet, 5.5 inches. So they're playing 4.5 feet over the top of the net and hitting the ball 80 miles an hour. And people in the backcourt have less than 0.2 of a second to respond. So all you got to do is, if you want to see the beauty and power of the game, is to go on YouTube and just go volleyball, the best plays ever in volleyball, and you'll see things most people who have not seen it will be blown away by the height above the floor that guys play, above the net, the power at which they propel the ball, whether it's serving or attacking. And you see the same thing just not only on the boys' side, and you see it at the highest level. And so they're two very different games. They're both beautiful to watch, but there is something amazing about what the men do playing over 2.5 or about 2.5 feet above the basketball rim.
And Sarah, I want to ask you, because you spent time as an athlete yourself, right, before you ever coached at UNC Charlotte, here playing for the 49ers. So you have this perspective of clearly an appreciation for women's volleyball, but now you're coaching men's volleyball, boys volleyball. Even as a 17, 18-year-old teenage boy, you're just seeing this explosiveness coming off the court, aren't you?
I am. And I think what's been so fun about coaching high school volleyball, because I coached girls for 10 years and now I'm in my 10th year of coaching the boys. And not only is there an element of gratitude in the gym, so it's different, they bring a level of creativity to the game and they learn so quickly. So as a coach, you're talking about reward after reward. So I mean,
Mm.
it's feeds that coach dopamine system very well. And it's so exciting to see the athleticism that they bring, the power they bring, and the plays that they make. Because we have like some wrestlers that come to us make incredible liberos because they're not afraid to get on the ground. They can read angles very quickly. So defense, which I'm a huge defense fan, is really exciting. And just I had a coach tell me once that coaching girls made me a better coach. Coaching boys made me fall in love with the game again. And it just
that's
hit
great.
so hard because it's so true. And it's just been something I'm so proud to have helped build in North Carolina. And just if this gets voted, it'll just open the doors for thousands of more boys to have the same experience.
When my daughter started playing volleyball in 7th grade, I think, I didn't know what a libero was. I thought, is that an Italian dish? Sign me up. I'm here for it. And I started watching, as she pointed out, I'm like, that person is a spider monkey. They are all over the place on the court. I had no idea what that was. I found a whole new appreciation about that. Coach Kiraly, I want to show you something here. And this is probably not new information to you, but look at this chart, right? Who doesn't love data charts to put these up there? But as we're talking about the growth and the excitement that has grown over 10 years for boys sports, I told you earlier about some of the favorites that we're used to, right? Basketball, baseball, some of those others. But if you look at the list, there's negatives. Those are slowing down in the growth and the popularity. Down below, look at that. Volleyball, 76% over the last 10 years. So this is not something that just started growing 10 years ago and then kind of petered out. It is just, it's snowballing. The momentum is picking up with people interested, families and boys at the high school level going through college and then hopefully one day being coached by you representing our country.
Snowballing is a great word. It is really picking up momentum. Many years ago when I was in high school, there were maybe 10, 15 states that had sanctioned boys high school volleyball. And really you could think of it as maybe California, Hawaii, Pennsylvania, New York, and now hopefully, especially with the great guidance of Sarah in North Carolina, that we push it across the line to make it the 30th state in the country, on our way to 50. And the boys' population across the country is almost at 100,000 now in terms of boys who are playing high school volleyball, and it's just absolutely exploding. There was just an article the other day talking about how men's volleyball could be one of the keys to saving our university and collegiate academic systems, because enrollment is dropping, and one of the ways to push it back up is with these opportunities for a sport like men's volleyball, one of the traditional Olympic sports, and it's just catching fire. And so we're super grateful to have people like Sarah pushing it, and I'm grateful to be a part of that effort too. And the boys, I get to go every year. I just went less than 2 months ago at the end of March to a national boys invitational that had teams from Oklahoma and Missouri and Delaware and Alaska, and it was fun. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it right now, seeing these boys just getting after it. It was an honor and a privilege to be around the passion that they have for this thing.
That is exciting. Jon, I want you and Sarah to kind of help our viewers understand this whole sanctioning thing. What is that? Why is that even important? What does it do to, I guess, the club part? I mean, what does it do to a high school sport in North Carolina with this whole sanctioning process?
Yeah, so I'll start with kind of piggybacking off of what Coach was just talking about, where statistically speaking, 75% of high schoolers are done playing sports, and not just high schoolers. Kids are done playing sports by the time they turn 12 or 13 years old. So 3/4 of kids are done by that. That is a nationwide statistic. So to see the kind of growth that we're seeing in North Carolina, where we're seeing this over a 10-year period, such a stark increase compared to all of the other sports in the state, when statistically speaking, it's happening at a time when kids are playing sports less and less. We're now seeing this sport explode in popularity, but it's been at a club level. Think of it like band or orchestra. We are now hoping for a vote May 6th by the State High School Athletics Association, which would officially sanction boys volleyball as a high school sport. Sarah, talk to us. First off, this has been 10 years in the making. The finish line is so close and it's been so long, this journey. First, talk to us about what this vote does and the support it will give the high school teams that we have around the state right now.
Absolutely. And I will try my hardest not to get into the weeds on this because there's just so much information. But in short, what sanctioning boys volleyball does, it makes it an official sport just like football or baseball. So it's school supported. A school doesn't have to offer it. Like a school doesn't have to offer football. It doesn't have to offer lacrosse, even though it's sanctioned. And so, but what it does is it offers immediate structure to those teams across the state. So because we've been around 10 years, there's some schools that treat it very similar to a varsity sport. They get letters, the booster club's involved, but all the way down to teams that are just fighting for gym space, or they're fighting, sometimes they have to rent gym space outside. There's no school support there. So it's like pushing water up a hill, and it's very hard to get any sort of support or buy-in from kids when they also don't feel supportive. So it'll immediately present like the legitimacy that we need and the consistency across everything. We've run the boys volleyball season just like the girls. So we have a playoff structure. We do the scheduling. We've tried to make it as easy as possible to start a team at your school. And thankfully we've succeeded in that because we have 118 public high schools competing. And we've met the requirements for sanctioning, and all they need to do is say yes and open the door for thousands of boys to also play.
And we do have this vote coming up, but there still is a way to draw attention to the game, to this need to sanction this sport. How can those who may not be directly involved, really anyone who sees this, but do feel the need to chime in to do something, how can they do that?
I would say first, if you have a son that plays, start sharing it on social media. Go to our Instagram at NC Boys High School Volleyball. Share some of the content, share the awareness of what's happening, and just, make a comment about how every guy deserves a chance to play for their school and to represent.
I think that's fantastic. Coach Sarah, thank you for what you're doing with not only at Weddington, but with the other organizations throughout North Carolina for just educating parents too. Because a lot of us as parents go, I don't understand it and I need to learn more. So the buy-in has to also be there from the parents. We're the ones sacrificing the time and money. And so if you can get that buy-in, then it just is infectious with other kids. So thank you. Good luck to everyone that's involved with high school boys volleyball. This vote is supposed to be May 5th and May 6th, about the time that this airs. So we look forward to bringing you that. Jon, this has been exciting, man. I love that you're involved in this. I'm glad you've gotten our newsroom excited about boys volleyball. And who knows, one day, Coach Kiraly, we could have someone from North Carolina who gets a scholar. Think about that, the level, right? You know this, a scholarship to college because of volleyball, and then maybe one day representing our country. You've got the Olympics coming up in 28 in Los Angeles. You got a bright future still ahead of you, and we appreciate your time this morning.
Of course, and that day is already, it's not someday. You've got David Decker from North Carolina playing on the #1 team in the country, UCLA, just as the NCAA tournament starts today. And they're looking to grab, oh boy, I don't know, maybe their 23rd natty, the UCLA Bruins. I played there myself, and they're going to host that tournament on next weekend. And the finals will be on May 11th. But this is such an exciting time because playoffs are happening, whether they're not quite sanctioned yet in North Carolina, but playoffs are happening for boys and men's volleyball all across the country. It's a fabulous time, and this would be the perfect time to lock in the sanction for North Carolina.
North Carolina's going to do it. I believe it. We're all feeling it. We're going to put it to the universe for sure. Thank you for everyone, all three coaches here, for getting everyone excited and taking it to the next level. So thank you, everyone, for your time. Appreciate that. Thanks for watching Morning Edition.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.